This is a story of Boy Meets Girl.
The boy, Scott Andrew Grummet of Willingham, Cambridgeshire, whose belief in true love stemmed from an unfortunate fondness for American pop-punk music and a total misreading of the film American Beauty.
The girl, Olivia Edith Rose Howes of Denver, Norfolk, who did not quite share in this belief at first. She only really loved two things. The first was her hair, and the endless dyeing and cutting of said hair. And the second, the colour black.
Scott meets Olivia on the 4th of April 2004 in the most romantic of locations, De Niro's nightclub Newmarket. It's an under 18s night. Their eyes met through a crowd of wet lip gel, a haze of Lynx Africa, and the dulcet tones of Peter Andre.
They spotted each other across a crowded balcony, the only two teenagers wearing Converse. They looked up at each other, and in an instant, they knew they had found what they were looking for.
This is a story of boy meets girl. You should know up front that this is a love story that took its sweet time to unfold.
There were several further meetings at De Niro's nightclub and dances headed ahead, as well as a truly horrible shirt borrowed from me, and even more questionable fashion choices. Belts on top of belts, not even attached to trousers, girl boxers, grubby wide legging jeans, and so much eyeliner that it hurt.
Time flew by with endless summers in Cambridge, enjoying Pizza Hut buffets and getting emotional listening to Dashboard Professional lying in the sun. The autumn and winter blew in as they made their home in their comfortable bunker in the basement of Starbucks, Market Square.
The conversations then continued late into the evening after they had to go home. There were hours of secret phone calls when everybody else had gone to bed. Sorry, mums and dads. Sweaty band practices, weekend gigs at Man on the Moon, trips to London to act cool and dive into mosh pits, and of course, favourite dinners were enjoyed of Tina's chocolate ice cream and Annie's mac and cheese.
It was like 7 years in total of will they, won't they. It was agony to watch, like Kermit and Miss Piggy. I mean, you know, more like Ross and Rachel kind of stuff.
After a few years of getting a lot of crazy out of their systems in separate worlds, one very special point in time brought them back together, right here in Norfolk.
Both at art school, Olivia at Central St Martin's for fashion, Scott at Norwich School of the Arts for photography, they were drawn back together to photograph a ridiculous dress Olivia had created entirely out of pheasants for John Galliano at the famous Holcombe Hall estate.
At that very shoot in Norfolk on April the 14th, 2010, doing what they do best, they realised not only were they really, really good at producing and shooting ridiculous shoots, but they could no longer stand to be apart.
Scott moved to London on July the 11th of that year, in the heart of the recession, thinking it was a brilliant time to start a business and a fantastic way to spend more time with Libby.
Unfortunately, he couldn't have been more wrong. Scott spent a lot of time eating Frosties, sat in his pants, and Olivia moved to New York to take up an internship with Oscar de la Renta, and lived with me in a tiny Lower East Side apartment. It had a bath in the kitchen and a distinct lack of useful kitchen utensils. Gin in a saucepan was our signature cocktail.
Through everything, they persevered and made it work from afar, surviving on late-night Skype sessions, daily SE emails, BlackBerry Messenger, and while they tried to make it big on separate continents.
They knew in their hearts that if they could survive Scott's eye exploding from stress and Olivia's dependency on cream cheese bagels, pretty much survive anything.
Finally, Olivia made it home for her finals, living out of her suitcase for a few months with Scott and their friend Johnny in London. I rocked up and we moved in together in Brixton, where we filled our afternoons with backyard badminton, beer pong and the occasional spot of gardening. The ink of our signatures on the lease barely dried before the epic riots ensued at our front door.
Struggling through art degrees, quitting jobs, life stress and occasional abject poverty, their lives together were still always filled with love.
Never more so than 3 years ago with the introduction of a new member of the family, a wrinkly, utterly mad, snuffling ball of fluff, Winston the Pug.
The three musketeers left London last year to move into their dream home, one they had written about in letters to each other all the way through school.
The old post office in Offord Cluny becoming the venue for their life together.
A place that from today will be their first home as Mr. and Mrs.
The A-Team.
Individuals made better as a pair.
Kindred spirits always able to complete each other's
sentences.
These two are more ready than ever to take on the world together.
One greasy cheeseburger and one glittering jewel-encrusted wedding dress.
So I think it kind of goes without saying, but this one's for my sister, who is the most beautiful, inspiring, and just incredibly impressive person I've ever met. And although I'm her big brother, I don't think anyone here is going to be surprised when I say that she is just the most incredibly wonderful person and someone I looked up to every day. She and Scott are not just completely successful and passionate about everything they do, and that's completely borne out in all of the wonderful things that they have done in their just amazing lives. And today is a complete testament to how incredible they are at all the things that they put their mind to. But I love my sister more than I can probably express in this little speech. And she has been there for me throughout a lot of incredibly difficult times in both of our lives. And I'm so grateful to have her. And Scott, who I've never been more proud to have someone about to join my family, and to potentially join their family as well. But he is someone I've known since I was a child, and oh, there we go. But I love you almost as much as I love my sister, yeah, just congratulations massively to both of you. I couldn't be more happy. You're the most beautiful couple in the world. So. Right. Here goes. Ready, Ari?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. And I never thought I'd feel this way, the way I feel about you. As soon as I wake up, every night, every day, I know that it's you I need to take the blues away. It must be love, love, love.
When I watch you, wanna do you right where you're. Yeah, right on the foyer, on this dark day, right in plain view. Oh yeah, the whole ghetto, the boot-stomped meadows, but we ignore them. Yeah, lovely baby, this war is crazy, I won't let you down. Oh no, 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 I won't let them take you, won't let them take you, hell no, no. Oh no, I won't let them take you, won't let them take you, hell no, no. Oh no, no, no. When our city, fast and shitty, falls to the axis, yeah, we'll search the buildings, collect gold fillings, wallets and rings. Oh yeah, but Miss Black Eyeliner, you'd look finer with each day in hiding. Oh yeah, beneath the wormwood, ooh, love me so, and they won't hear a screw away. Today I'll make you say no, alive. I won't let them take you, won't let them take you, hell no, no, alive, oh no, alive, alive with love, alive with love. No. Our trebling car is alive with the glory of love. Trebling car is alive with the glory of love. Yeah. Okay, speed it up. Sober. Should they catch us and dispatch us to those separate work camps, I'll dream about you, I will not doubt you with the passing of time. Oh yeah, should they kill me, the war will fill me as warm as the bullets. Yeah, I'll know my purpose, this war was worth this, I won't let you down. No I won't, no I won't, no I won't. Alive, 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 alive with love, alive with hell, no, no. Alive, oh no, alive, let them take alive with love, let them take alive with hell, no, no. Alive with love, no, alive with love tonight.
Okay, so in the words of Olivia and Scott, let's get this show on the road. Olivia and Scott, before you are joined in marriage, I should remind you both of the solemn and binding nature of the vows that you are about to make. Today is a marriage, and a legal one at that. But today is also an unequivocal celebration, a celebration of true love, of two best friends, of the ultimate dream team. Olivia and Scott will now declare there is no legal reason why they should not marry. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know of no lawful reason.
That I know of no lawful reason.
Why I, Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
Why I, Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
May not be joined in marriage.
May not be joined in marriage.
To Scott Andrew Grummett.
To Scott Andrew Grummett.
I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare.
That I know of no lawful reason.
That I know of no lawful reason.
Why I, Scott Andrew Grummett.
Why I, Scott Andrew Grummett.
May not be joined in marriage.
May not be joined in marriage.
To Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
To Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
Contracting orders. I call upon these persons here present.
I call upon these persons here present.
To witness that I, Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
To witness that I, Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
Wish to take thee, Scott Andrew Grummett.
Wish to take thee, Scott Andrew Grummett.
To be my husband. I call upon these persons here present.
I call upon these persons here present.
To witness that I, Scott Andrew Grummett.
To witness that I, Scott Andrew Grummett.
Wish to take thee, Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
Wish to take thee, Olivia Edith Rose Howes.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
Olivia, having taken Scott to be your husband, do you promise to be loving, caring, and loyal to him for the rest of your life together?
I do.
Scott, having taken Olivia to be your wife, do you promise to be loving, caring, and loyal to her for the rest of your life together?
I do.
Okay, we now have another special reading, and this one is going to be read by Tim.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2018, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. You will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until they have faded. But trust me, in 20 years you'll look back at photos of yourself and recall in a way you can't grasp now how much possibility lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. You're not as fat as you imagine. Don't worry about the future, or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra by chewing bubblegum. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind. The kind that blindside you at 4 p.m. on some Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Sing. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Floss. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. Remember the compliments you receive, forget the insults, and if you succeed in doing this, tell me how. Keep your old love letters. Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. And some of the most interesting 40-year-olds that I know still don't. Be kind to your knees, you'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll marry, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have children, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll marry your best friend. Maybe you'll dance the funky chicken on your 75th wedding anniversary. Whatever you do, don't congratulate yourself too much, or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance, and so are everyone else's. Dance, even if you have nowhere to do it but in your own living room. Read the directions, even if you don't follow them. Do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. Be nice to your siblings. They are your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Understand that friends come and go, but for the precious few, you should hold on. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and in lifestyle. Remember, the older you get, the more you need people you knew when you were young. Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in Cambridge once, but leave only to realise how good you once had it. Travel. Respect your elders. Don't expect anyone else to support you. Don't mess too much with your hair, or by the time you're 50, it'll look 85. And be careful whose advice you buy, but be patient with those who supply it. Advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth. And trust me on the sunscreen.
Olivia and Scott have chosen to demonstrate their commitment by the giving and receiving of rings. A wedding ring is a symbol of the everlasting circle of love, truth and unity in which two lives are joined together. So, I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
As a symbol of our marriage.
As a symbol of our marriage.
My endless love for you.
My endless love for you.
And my promise of commitment.
And my promise of commitment.
Throughout this lifelong adventure together.
Throughout this lifelong adventure together.
I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
As a symbol of our marriage.
As a symbol of our marriage.
My endless love for you.
My endless love for you.
And my promise of commitment.
And my promise of commitment.
Throughout this lifelong adventure together.
Throughout this lifelong adventure together.
May these rings, which by a long tradition form a seal to the marriage contract, be a constant reminder to you both of the promises you have made and an outward sign of your commitment to each other. Today will be a milestone in your lives which you can look back on with happiness and pride. From this day, may the ordinary things you share become special and the special things great. Cherish your love for each other enhance the potential you have as individuals and as a couple, and look to the future with a commitment that grows stronger and deeper as the years pass. May your love create a safe haven for you both on the journey that lies ahead of you. Lead with your hearts and take the time to do the simple things that will nurture your love. It is that love that has brought us here together today. May it grow deeper and sweeter with each passing year. Olivia and Scott, you have both made the declarations that are prescribed by law and formed a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your guests here today. I am delighted to declare that you are now husband and wife. Scott, you may kiss your bride.
I think it's such a great privilege to be here to see two people that I really admire, and I just think they're two extraordinary individuals who've just become the most beautiful couple and wonderful couple. So, to you guys, congrats.
Congratulations.